The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters. Welcome to the October 3rd wonderful Wednesday edition of today's Opening Bell on the Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, and I absolutely treasure your presence here today, folks. My outcome is to help you to become a better money master and to provide you the tools that will help you to lead an inspired life. Because leading an inspired life, folks, that is what it's all about. So let's go take a look at one of these wonderful tools. You know, I saw this morning that the Weather Channel, it's, we just got into fall, but the Weather Channel, they are Johnny on the spot. They're going to start naming all of the winter storms out there. And one of those, the first three winter storms are going to be named Athena, Brutus, and Caesar. So I think I'll try to work Caesar into one of the tool that we're going to talk about here today. And so the Weather Channel now taking it to the National Hurricane Center, who has been naming hurricanes ever since I can remember. So a marketing ploy out there. But let's go take a look at one of our tools. This is the tool that I call Beautiful Thoughts. Build a beautiful soul. Doesn't that sound like a great way to start your Wednesday, folks? The question that I've got for you is beauty a necessity in your life? Should it be a necessity in your life? I believe, folks, that it is, and I believe that beauty isn't only pleasant to the eye, it's the essence of what helps us to live a more productive and happy life out there. You know, beauty starts with just simply recognizing, seeing, and feeling all the beauty that surrounds us. You know, for beauty, folks, it's inherent within each of us out there, and beautiful thoughts will absolutely build a beautiful soul out there. You know, folks, just take a look around you. Take a look at all of the beauty around you. How about an ant? You know, for those of you that listen to me, know I have my ant stories out there. Well, today is no different. The next time, you see an ant out there, what I want you to do is I want you to take a close look. Maybe it's going to be an ant building a little, a little home, a little pile. In fact, I'm sure the ants were out in Clearwater building some homes. We had a little rain here this morning, and so I'm sure the ants were out there. And so what's the difference between a tiny little ant and maybe that little speck of sand, that the ant is carrying on its back when it's going to go ahead and build that beautiful home? Folks, it's happening. Have you ever seen it? Have you ever watched an ant build a home out there? It's absolutely beautiful. And the question is, do you live in, and you take a look at, it's just so beautiful, take a look at your own surroundings. Take a look at what it is that you've built out there. We get so caught up into our very moment that we don't step back, we don't just pause for a moment and just simply take a look at all the beauty that's been created. Look at what Tom has created here at TFNN. It includes all of you folks in the den, all of you listeners out there. It is a beautiful thing. I know that Tom loves to be able to say that, and I know, folks, that he means it. Just look at all of the beauty that you are surrounded with. Marcus Aurelius, Antonius Augustus, remember? His good friends know him as Caesar, and they're going to start naming storms after Caesar out there. He was a great philosopher, folks, and he was quoted with saying, "Such as are thy habitual thoughts, such also will be the character of thy soul. For the soul is dyed by the thoughts." My interpretation, folks, of this is nothing more than just simply concentrate your thoughts on the good, the beautiful, and the positive out there, because beautiful thoughts absolutely build beautiful souls, and each of you are just simply gorgeous. Thanks so much for joining us. If you're listening to us on the radio, you can always catch an archive of this show on Channel 9. Maybe you're listening to us on TFNN.MOBI on your mobile device. Maybe it's your iPad, and we absolutely appreciate you doing that as we kick things off and start taking a look here at the futures market. Really, right now, a relatively flat open. The last few mornings, we've been up 40, 50, 60 points, down 40, 50, 60 points. Today, relatively flat out there. If we take a look at the Dow futures, they're up about 15 points, trading out at 13,426. The ES Mini, that's what we're looking at on my screen here, trading out at 1443. You can see this is just a 30-minute chart, so you can see certainly a sideways consolidation move out here. It is starting to move higher, maybe an A to B equals CD. That takes it nowhere else but right back to the highs out here that were established coming into the a 10:30 time frame on October 1st out there. In the news this morning, you had the ADP numbers out. They were out maybe sometime around 8:15 or so. Didn't really move the markets too much, although there is certainly divergence that we've got in the markets. And what I mean by that is you've got King Dollar up 22 ticks right now. You've got gold up $4. You've got silver up 10 cents. You've got the futures up. Something is going to give. I'm not sure just which one it is, but we'll go take a look at the charts. We'll see if they're giving us any indications. You had mortgage applications up a whopping 16%. I believe that was month over. I don't know if that was month over month or year over year. But they're just simply up. We're up off the bottom when it comes to housing out there. And, folks, if you haven't had a chance, go to the homepage at TFNN.com and download Tom's report, the bull market in Florida housing. And if you are in the general Florida area, I know that Tom is doing a workshop tomorrow at the Bel Air Country Club. You can get all of the details by contacting Kathleen at TFNN. But first, download that white report if you haven't had a chance to do that out there. As we come back to the markets here and go take a look around the world, you've got the DAX in Germany right now trading up 27 points out at 73.33. The FTSE joining in on the party. They're up 15 bucks out at 58.25. Again, other than in China, they were closed again last night. The Nikkei struggling, down 39 points. That was down almost 0.5% out there. And if we take a look at the 30-minute chart, not a lot going on out here. So let's go take a look at some of the other charts that we've got. Let's go take a look at the Dow futures. We were taking a look at this chart here yesterday. What you are seeing is you're seeing this beautiful rising price channel that began all the way back here in June 4th, 2012. You can see price continues to move up. And when you take a look at this chart here, folks, it's a really important chart. Take a look at the two horizontal lines on my screen. One I've drawn in black. That horizontal line is off of the May 1st highs out there. The one that is in red is off of the March 16th highs. It's a set of swing points. But what's really important to take a look at that area is it's an area that has been tested as a support or resistance area. And it's really important to be able to draw a chart out, to have a chart and understand where the line has been drawn in the sand. We're talking about ants and having those little, pieces of sand to build their home. It's always good to take a look at where the line is drawn in the sand on your charts out here. If you take a look at either the May 1st or the March 16th was tested many times out there. March 16th was tested on the March 27th time frame. It was tested April 2nd, 2012. It was tested May 1st, 2012, May 2nd, May 3rd, 2012. It got tested again back in August of 2012 out there. And then what you had was on Super Mario date, September the 6th. That is where price stopped. It stopped right at that area. You kind of slid around there for a couple of days, broke through with real conviction on Ben Bernanke's date. That was September the 13th. So you are up and over, not you, but the Dow futures are up and over that area. And that little range there is very important to watch. Why? Because if you break that, number one, you're going to break out of this rising price channel. That could be a real break, folks. Until you break the lows of that channel, close below it with some kind of conviction, and now you're sitting in areas where you've got some additional support, because old resistance becomes what, folks? It becomes support out there. That is the beautiful thing about understanding whether it's candle patterns out there or just simply understanding price and going ahead and using your Etch-a-Sketch and drawing some lines on your charts out there. So it becomes very clear whether the market, right now, the market, you have to take a look at it and say what? You've got to say that it is in a bullish mode. It's in the rising price channel. It is up above the old resistance area. Now new support out there. And if you take a look at price over the last couple of days, each time it's tried to come down into that rising price channel, it rejects that area and moves higher. It doesn't do it with conviction, but certainly it was working through an overbought area that was established really the day after Ben Bernanke, September 14th out there. So it had to work through that. It has worked through it thus far. It's got plenty of room to run to the upside. That upside is likely going to be the top of that rising price channel. It's going to be in the 13,008, 13,009 level. That is on your Dow futures. If we take another look here at an important chart, perhaps just as important, maybe more important, that would be the NASDAQ futures out here. The NASDAQ futures, which has been the strength, certainly was pushing lower yesterday with Apple. Apple rejected my hammer candle. We'll certainly take a look at that when we come back from the break. But if we take a look at the line in the sand on the NASDAQ futures, you'd come back really to the March 28th high out there. That high was tested just a couple trading sessions later, April 3rd. But you can see all the tests as the market was trying to bust through that resistance area all the way back to in the August time frame, and then boom, it busted through there on Super Mario Day. It's up above that level, and I would say if we take a look at support lines, I'm going to say support here on the NASDAQ futures is the low of September 6th. That area there is 2766. You can also take a look at the low as it was trying to be penetrated on September 26th. That was 2762. NASDAQ futures up above the old resistance line, now new support. We'll be right back, folks.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Wealth Management. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportions of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what an asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Wealth Management financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Wealth Management, LLC. Member SIPC.
With the launch of TigerTV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With TigerTV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Daryl Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on TigerTV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out TigerTV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
80% of traders fail because they don't know when to get in or out of a market, and all because no one taught them how to read the signs. You see, the stock market has a universal language called Japanese candlesticks, and each day, the buyers and sellers, the bulls and bears, go to work and build signs. This language has been around for thousands of years, and it's easy to learn. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of the Money Masters Show, and I'm a master sign builder. Download my free report, Candlesticks, The Speed of Trust, on the homepage of TFNN.com for one of the best-kept candlestick secrets. I'll also be conducting an online course Friday, October 19th, to teach you the language of the market's sign builders. You'll learn the best entry and exit techniques and strategies that will create extraordinary rewards. The course will be archived so you can review it as many times as you like, because trading or investing without learning this language is like running a red light. It's an accident waiting to happen, and there's no airbags or seatbelts. All the details are on the homepage of TFNN.com.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. And if you own shares of Sarepta Therapeutics, I'm not sure if I pronounced that properly, S-A-R-E-P-T-A, the ticker symbol is SRPT. You have got a nice morning in store for you. They closed at $14.99 last night. It is trading out at $32.46 as we speak out there. It looks like they got some nice news here from, let's see, notice from Department of Defense. It doesn't give me the full, but the stock is trading up. That is on Sarepta Therapeutics. That's going to absolutely be the leader in the clubhouse off of the bat here in about 6 minutes. Let's go take a look at the daily chart here on Apple, and we're going to take a look at that. We're taking a look at it was attacking my hammer candle out there yesterday. Actually, it could be your hammer candle as well. And if you're not familiar with what a hammer candle is, go to the homepage of TFNN.com. Download my special report out there, Candlesticks, Silent Signals, the Speed of Trust. You absolutely want to make sure that you've got that report. I teach you how to take a look at those candles. Sometimes they actually are something else, and they disguise themselves, and I show you how to understand that whole process and make sure that, you know, and hammer candles they're really fabulous because it is truly a day when the bulls and bears are fighting with each other, and in the case of a hammer, the bulls are the ones who won. That hammer candle out here is very important with regard to Apple. That is the September 12th low. That's $656. There was 25 million shares there. Yesterday, Apple forming a doji with 22 million shares out there. Now, that doji has more importance than when it's in the middle of a move because that was coming down into a support area. And that said, the bears absolutely lost control of Apple yesterday. Now, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I sent out a special update to all of my clients. There's a certain intraday set of trading indicators that you can use. My message to them was if you were short, start tightening up your stops here because Apple is going to bounce. And this indicator, folks, it works. If you're an intraday trader and you don't trade with this, you really need to. You can get access to my newsletter service for 30 days. I have done a full about a 30-minute workshop on how to actually use that indicator. It's included inside my newsletter. It's included when I trade either the futures. It also works when you're trading some additional stocks, especially something that's got the volatility of Apple out there. You can test drive that for 30 days. Comes with an unconditional money-back guarantee. And sure enough, we saw Apple bounce here today. That line that's drawn in the sand here in this hammer, that was very important, still is very important. Apple's going to pop this morning here just by a few bucks. No big deal out there. If you do get it closed below 656, it says Apple wants to head down into the 590 level. Nothing more than the sweet 618 retracement out there. We'll see how it trades today. Each day is a separate trading day out there. If we go take a look at some of the other things in the markets, let's go take a look at natural gas. I brought this up yesterday because I know there's a number of folks out there in natural gas, in the UNG. And what I was pointing out to you yesterday was this rising price channel. You can see natural gas here. What it had done yesterday in yesterday's session was, number one, it made a 1 to 1.618, A to B equals C to up. Completed that yesterday, did it almost to the penny out there. Today it's pulling back. Now, it was also completing that pattern and moving into that rising price channel. You can see each time that prices moved up there, it would be natural for natural gas to pull back. Natural gas was also in a overbought condition, so it needs to work that out. Just how deep the retracement is going to be, that I don't know. But if you are in the UNG trade out there, you want to go ahead and just simply make sure that you are tightening up your stops out there, because it looks like natural gas here has run its course to the upside for the time being. It's got further to go, but for the time being. Or just simply, if you're in the trade, just know that you're going to get heat that you can expect. When you expect things and you see price pull back, it's not a big deal, is it? Because you absolutely expect it, and you want to make sure that you're using tools and techniques like this out there. If we go take a look at, let's go see what's going on in the world indices out here. Let's take a look at the DAX. You got the DAX trading up near its session highs out at 73.31. The DAX has not really backed off much. It's done a 0.382 retracement to the downside. Oil, though, it's going to be an interesting session for oil out here, because oil just looking for my stock chart here. We'll do it when we come back from the break. But oil had moved into a long-term bearish position a while back. Today, it looks like it's a possibility that on the intermediate term, and I'm using some lagging indicators out there, some moving averages, but these are moving averages that you want to be aware of on your stock charts. We'll go take a look at it and see if we have had that cross through yet this morning. 877-927-6648. Dow futures up about 15, 16 points. ES Mini up about 2 1/4. The King, though, up 18 ticks right now. We'll be right back. We'll see how these markets are going to pop.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. You've heard Tom O'Brien on the air, and you've seen him on Tiger TV, as well as being featured as a regular CNBC guest and contributor, and now you can have access to his expert trading advice each morning through his daily trading newsletter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, gives traders, investors, and money managers a thorough strategy for trading stocks, options, and indices every market day. Market Insights comes out each market day before 9:30 a.m. and provides traders with Tom's daily commentary, opinion, and specific trade recommendations on the markets. Using advanced Fibonacci methods, volume indicators, Gartley patterns, candlestick charting, gaps, and market timing, Market Insights will give you specific trade recommendations including entry, stop, and exit prices. The summer is over and traders are back. Get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now. TFNN and Great Panther Silver have teamed up for another exciting silver giveaway. The Great Panther Silver Halloween giveaway will be taking place at the end of October, and for 3 full days we'll be giving away silver coins and bars every hour from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. to one lucky winner randomly chosen. There's no purchase necessary. For more information and to fill out your registration form today, simply visit the front page of TFNN.com where you'll find all the details. October 29th, 30th, and 31st, we'll choose one lucky winner that will receive a silver coin or bar courtesy of Great Panther Silver. Winners will be announced live on the air each hour for 3 full days. Don't miss out on this great opportunity to win free silver from TFNN and Great Panther Silver. Register today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. And for more information on Great Panther Silver, you can click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex, symbol GPL, or on the Toronto Stock Exchange, symbol GPR.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
We're up to the races. You got the Dow up 11 points, S&P's up 3, Composite up 12, small caps up a point, Microsoft up 8 ticks right now, Intel up 5, Google down 62 cents, Cisco up 8 pennies, Apple up almost $6 here, almost up a full percent. This morning, Apple is second in line here. Leading the charge on the way up is Sarepta Therapeutics up $14, 95%. We'll go take a look at that stock chart as well. You got Stratasys, SSYS, up 7% here this morning, up $3 and change. Ocwen Financial, OCN is the ticker symbol. They're up a nice 10% this morning. That's up $3 and change. Netflix moving up 4%, up $2.32. Family Dollar Stores having a nice morning, up $1.74. That's up about almost 3%. RPM, International RPM is their ticker symbol, up 4% this morning. Westport Innovation, WPRT, they're up about 4% as well. To the downside here, you got Monsanto Corp down about 1.5%. That's off $1.45. And there's only one other stock off about $1. That would be Sasol. SSL is the ticker symbol. They're down a couple percent. Otherwise, everything is not as down in the 80-90% area. Of course, the market here really relatively flat this morning. So let's go back here. Take a look at light sweet crude. As I mentioned to you, if you take a look at and you use some lagging indicators, always good to understand where price is traveling here. The light sweet crude, actually, folks, gave you the old death cross. That's where the 50-day crosses through the 200. I'm using the exponential moving average out there. And if you take a look at the lines on my charts here, what you're going to see, this red line here, that represents the what does that represent? That represents the 50-day moving average, and the black line out there is the 200-day. Want to make sure I had all that straight. And if you take a look at it, when you've got the 50-day going ahead and crossing through the 200, that is giving you a long-term bearish signal. There was a special report that I did that thousands of you got access to out there that help you to be able to manage your long-term funds. And when it comes to, and I'm talking about using the same technique, only using it on a monthly chart to be able to manage what fund choices you've got out there to determine whether you should be in or out. I'm referring to your retirement funds out there, and it works on every kind of chart. Doesn't matter whether we're talking light sweet crude or an index or a mutual fund that you have the ability to go in and out of. So that gave us the death cross there. Of course, light sweet crude, these are lagging indicators. They're not going to give you turning points in the marketplace. But don't you like to know, if you were, long light sweet crude for some reason, that you got a signal to be out of your long position out there? Light sweet crude certainly had a nice bounce here, back in the early part of June, but you didn't get a cross back over. You haven't gone to long-term bullish mode here yet at all. You've got light sweet crude now trading below the 50-day, the 20-day, and the 200-day exponential moving average out there, folks. So light sweet crude looks to me like it does want to go ahead and pull back. Just a normal pullback would be where? To sweet what? You got it. Sweet 618. If you take a look at light sweet crude, that would take you down to the $86 price point out there. Of course, if there really is an A to B equals CD down, that is completing here. You're looking at more of a move, more like the 0.786 level, down in the $82 price point. That was on light sweet crude. Let's go take a look at some of these equities out here that are popping and dropping. And then I'm going to show you something, some of the work that I have done for my clients. I'll share it with you with regard to planetary index dates. I don't recall if I've shared this information with you or not, and if I have, maybe for some of you new listeners, it'll open your eyes up to a couple things. Let's go take a look at some of these stocks here, popping and dropping first, though. Up over 100% this morning is Sarepta Therapeutics. Let's go see where it is trading into. SRPT is the ticker symbol, SRPT. It's pretty nice to have a little 100% pop up here. Trading out at $30 right now. And let's go pull this chart here back further. Let's put this on a monthly chart, get a better perspective of what it actually is doing, because it looks like it's got some major high. Oh, my goodness. Take a look at this stock chart, folks. You don't think that this has some, well, not so much that it really has a big supply line, but take a look at the Eiffel Tower, a straight shot up. We're looking at a monthly chart, but goes back to February in the year 2000. This stock goes from, let's just go back to January 2000, opens up at about $32.50, moves all the way up, almost closes at its session highs, February 29th, 2000, $163.50, $163.50 back in 2000. Of course, for those shareholders that hung on to this thing for the long haul, how about in January of 2009 when it was trading down at $3.84? You want to talk about getting absolutely whacked. Now, if we take a look at this equity here, that's what we have going back and taking a look at, not tons of volume out here. When you consider today, the volume that it's done, nothing compared. So we don't see any big volume out there. So that is that's okay from my standpoint. If we take a look at what it's really doing now, it's moving into this high volume monthly bar that goes back to January 2006. The high of that is 53.28. You're at $30 on a monthly chart. It looks to me like that is. Let me just refresh my screen, make sure I've got the exact right volume out here. And I do. So it looks to me like that's what it wants to do, is get up into that $53 range. Again, trading at $30 right now. Let's go take a look at the weekly chart, see what the weekly chart has on this. This thing had a real nice sign of strength here. The week of July 27th here, 25 million shares out there. Man, what a rocket ship out there. And never really pulled back for a couple of weeks, not from any kind of a price standpoint, not certainly from any kind of real significant volume standpoint. And today here, it's got, this is the weekly chart. Let's go take a look at the daily chart now. As we take a look at the daily chart, this thing here has got about 5 million shares in it. Last sign of strength, as I mentioned, was back in July 24th, 16 million shares. So if you're in this trade, that is a beautiful thing, that's for sure. That was Sarepta Therapeutics out there. Nice 100% pop. Let's go take a look at Monsanto. Monsanto down about 2%. MON is the ticker symbol there. Let's go see what that is doing. If this thing did gap down slightly. Looks like it's got some volume in it as well. Let's go see if there is some news behind Monsanto out here this morning. Let's see. Net loss, so they did have a release of numbers. Their Q4 loss widened. They attributed, doesn't say what they attributed to, but their loss was $229 million versus $112 from the previous year. Their sales, $2.11 billion versus $2.25 billion. That is on Monsanto. If we take a look at this thing here, this has got a high volume bar. Well, it's got, I would say, this one here, where it would find some reasonable support is on April 4th. Did 8.7 million shares. That high is $83. You're at $88.50 right now. If we take a look at just normal retracement levels here on Monsanto, come back to the low that started here May 18th. This is of the last move up all the way to the high that was put in here. Looks like on September 21st, out at 91.95. Excuse me. The 0.382, so nothing more than just a normal retracement, happens to be $83.45. And as I mentioned, you've got this high volume bar from April 4th, that price range anywhere from $79 to $83. Looks to me like that's where Monsanto is headed, and it is now at $88.66. Let's go take a look at some of the other stocks here, popping and dropping. We've got, let's see percentage-wise. Yeah, percentage-wise, it's going to be Ocwen Financial. OCN is the ticker symbol. That's up 14% this morning. Let's go see what is behind this move volume-wise. Gapping up. Does it with some good volume. This had a nice sign of strength, some wide price spread and accelerated volume. It had that here on the date of August the 2nd out here when it moved higher with 6.9 million shares. Let's take this back. Everybody looks like they are in the having fun at this party. Let's put this on a monthly chart and make sure. Most certainly it is. So this has been quite a rocket ship out here as we take a look at the monthly chart. If we take a look at A, B, C, D patterns just on the monthly, we start with a low back on April the 30th, the month of April 30th, 2008, out at 366. That's your A point. Your B point was made July 2009 out at a price of 1456. Pulls back, consolidates here all the way up into November 2010. What it is doing here this morning, it's already past the 1 to 2 level. It's on the 1 to 2.618. That'll take you to $36.80. That is on Ocwen Financial. That's on the monthly chart out there. And let's take a look at this thing here on a weekly chart. Nothing really out there. That's on Ocwen Financial. Let's go take a look at Heartland Payment Systems. They're down 8% this morning. HPY is the ticker symbol there. HPY. And let's go see. So this is gapping down with volume. Looks like I had looked at this chart here once before. So let's go take a look at this. Let's wipe the... So if we take a look at, again, this is Heartland Payment Systems. This thing has a pretty nice breakout session that comes all the way back to February 9th, 2012. So this is one you'd want to be watching this, see what kind of volume. So you do have volume today. See if it continues throughout the day. So this thing here is moving down. Does it with volume of 243,000. So that 243 so far, only been trading here for what looks like 15 minutes. Again, it's got this nice sign of strength. Doesn't have any real institutional selling of anything substantial. And the sign of strength here, February 9th, has a nice big open window out there, a gap up. You did, as I mentioned, you did 1.8 million shares. So just kind of watch this. I'm actually going to mark it down here on my notes just to take a look at the volume at the end of the day. If you don't have any real sign of institutional selling here, this might not be a bad equity to take a look at it as it comes back into that gap from February 9th, 2012. Let's go take a look at EOG. Take a look at the bigger. You got Rentech Nitrogen, RNF. So that's down about 4% this morning, 5%. Let's go see if there's any volume behind that. RNF is the ticker symbol. So that thing here gapping down this morning. Whoops. Looks like this is a IPO out here. Yeah, it looks like it goes all the way back into the, let me just refresh the screen, make sure that I've got everything. Looks like this thing was an IPO going all the way back to November 4th, 2011. Looks like it may have completed an A to B equals CD up. So this is the daily chart that we are taking a look at. The low on this goes back to December 20th, 2012, out at the $16.04 level. That's going to be your A point. Your B point is April 30th, makes a high of 30.39, pulls back. Let's go take a look at this. It did make a 1 to 1.272, A to B equals CD. Completed that pattern on the 24th, the 21st of September. Hung out there for a trading session on September 25th out there. Moved back, came back and tried to test that swing point high. So let's see what kind of volume test was going on out here in Rentech Nitrogen. The high on September 24th, 332,000 shares. As it came back up there was 429,000 shares. So not giving you any type of indication other than yesterday's little gap down that this thing was having some trouble. Yesterday gapping down with 557,000 shares. There was a little bit of selling in this on September 26th when you saw the first signs of that selling, 993,000 shares out there. But this thing here has a sign of strength on August the 7th. The price is $32.82. So let's go take a look at the retracement levels out here. Let's go from the A to our D point because that is ideally what you would be looking for. So we're going to go all the way from the A, which was back on December 20th, out at 1604, all the way up to the highs And you can see the 382 level is $30.88. Let's see if we've got a convergence of price here. Let's go off of the lows from June 5th up to the highs out here again. And so you've got the point. Looks like this would want to pull back into the $28 to $30 range. Now, what are you going to get in that $28 to $30 range? You're going to come right down into that August 7th high volume area where this last broke out with any kind of conviction, and that price range is $30.45 to $32.82. That ticker symbol also RNF out there. If we go take a look at, let's go see what else we've got going on. Let's see if the divergence here has cleared. So you've got gold up, you've got silver up just slightly, and you've got the king up. Let's go take a look and see. Let's go see what's going on in the currency market. It must be the Japanese yen. So let's go see if it's the yen that is weakening and putting the strength inside King Dollar out here, because the euro really hasn't backed off a whole lot out there. So let's go take a look at the yen, and yes, there it is. There is the culprit. Trading out right now at 78.45. This is the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen. This thing here has tried to break out, made a nice little hammer candle, by the way, on the 14th of September out here. This is the weekly chart. So on the weekly chart, it made for the weekend at September 14th, made a nice little hammer. Looks like last week, what it did was, and we're taking a look at a trend line out here. This trend line comes back to March 16th, 2012. The next touch point on this is June 29th. You can see the yen broke out of that trend on August 17th. So far, all it's done is come back and test that trend line. Last week may have been the signal, because it came back to 50% level of that hammer. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back, folks.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on Chinese stocks, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil's subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to check out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, Then visit the front page of TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern on TFNN.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
Catch Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. The Money Masters, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. The Dow trading down 24 points right now. S&P's off about 1.5. Composite up $1.60. And stay tuned, folks. You know, it is a wonderful Wednesday out there. That means following the Money Masters show, we go up to Newton, Massachusetts. Basil Chapman, he's now with us 5 days a week. That's a beautiful thing. From 11 to 12. Today on Wednesday, 12 to 1 is Larry Pesavento. 1 to 2, Daryl Martin. 2 to 3, David White. 3 to 4, Ken Shreve. And 4 to 6, the Tom O'Brien show. Let's go to Lou in Nashua. Lou, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding.
Yes, we're looking at SLV.
SLV. Tell me what you're doing and how I can help.
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet. Okay, good. You want to wait for a pullback in the SLV. That is the ETF, folks, for silver out there. And I've got the silver chart up here on the screen. Now, silver is just not backing off. But I can tell you, you know, it's not so much over bought here right now. It's pretty close. But what I can tell you is if I take a look at the large commercial traders out there, which I do pay attention to every weekend because the CFTC releases their information. You can get that; it's available on their website. And the large commercial traders have ramped up and have taken the largest short positions that I have seen in quite some time here. So the large money, and they often take their positions early. The large money is expecting a little pullback here in silver, which would be nice. It'd give us the opportunity to get into. You know, right now what silver is doing, it's trading inside 2 swing points. So it still has some room to run to the upside, but I think that room may be limited. We take a look at silver. It's trading at 34.70 right now. I think 36.68 is going to be a resistance area. That's going to be the swing point. That had a lot of volume on the contract from September 23rd. Lou, you're also running into swing points from March of 2012, March 1st. That high is $35.70 out there. So I think your upside potential right now is limited. You want to wait for a pullback, and you want to see what kind of volume with the pullback here. But, you know, silver, it's a trade. Personally, I'm looking and waiting to also go ahead and purchase on a pullback. So I think you just have to be patient here.
Okay.
All righty? You bet. Yep. You bet. Thanks for calling. Let's go. Let's see here. We've got a minute. So let's go take a look at the ETF and see what we've got going on inside the ETFs here this morning. See if there's any kind of real volume here. I've got to switch over to the 10-minute chart. Let's take a look at the Qs. Let's do this on the 5-minute here real quickly. The Qs right now trading out at 68.71. Let me refresh my screen, see if we've got anything out here that looks unusual. You know, we do have is a couple of signs of strength out here. You know, and those have been really, well, a couple signs of weakness, actually. The cues here, though, just coming back and filling the gap left open from the open here this morning as it popped open. The top of that gap is at $68.66. Thus far, it's gotten down to $68.77 out here. So nothing on the 10-minute chart here that pops out at me. You can see the cues here really consolidating in between the about the $70, call it $70, down to $67.50. Certainly been consolidating all the way back into September 25th. It is October 3rd. Again, stay tuned. Following this show, you've got the Money Master Show with Tom and myself, then Basil Chapman from 11 to 12, Larry Pesavento 12 to 1 out there, and David White, 2 to 3, Daryl Martin, 1 to 2, Ken Shreve, 3 to 4, and the Tom O'Brien Show from 4 to 6. The Dow off 27, S&P's down 2. You've got Germany and France are up just slightly, folks. Have a wonderful Wednesday morning. Stay tuned for the show, for the Money Master Show. If you're not tuning in, have a fantastic day. Look forward to seeing you in the morning.